Fresh 102.7.
It's Carson and Cane on Fresh 102.7 with Lady Gaga.
Woo!
Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Perfect Illusion. Such a great song.
Thank
Went
you.
#1 on iTunes like hours after it came out.
Thank you.
You must have been like, oh, this again? Another #1 record, like right away?
No, that's never what happens. Honestly, I get so excited every time anything happens with my music. It's, you know, I've been in the studio for months and months with Mark Ronson and Kevin Parker from Tame Impala and Blood Pop working on this song, and we've been just, you know, hanging out, you know, having beers and, you know, finishing things and making them better and watching it all come together, and then all of a sudden it's on the radio and everyone's calling and saying it's #1 in like 60-something countries.
62.
62.
And we're just all on, you know, we're in a group chat going, oh, OMG. We're just, you know, normal people, I guess.
Yeah, I noticed a tweet that said, you had said that, oh my God, I just heard this song, my new song, for the first time on the radio.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, she still gets excited about
It was
that.
so cool. I just got in the car after getting off the plane from London to come here, and it was on the radio as soon as I turned it on. It was so crazy.
You probably heard it on Fresh 102.7, right?
That's probably what
Yeah.
I recall.
We were watching the video of you in London, and it looks so, I mean, first of all, you're in phenomenal shape.
Oh,
Amazing
thanks.
shape.
Thanks so much.
And you look like you're just having a blast. You kind of get back to your rock and roll roots a little bit. You're out there surfing the crowd. It looks so much fun.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been hanging out with a bunch of boys making music, so like you gotta keep up with they move fast sometimes. So I think I've just been look, I'm just like so excited to be, you know, doing something that I've been wanting to do for a while, which is just take some time to connect to my family and to my friends and to make a record that is really about me as my father's daughter, you know, my mother's daughter, my sister's sister, my friend's friend, and all the songs are autobiographical and they're each their own story and they're each about something in my life. But it's also really fun because my life is fun too. But it's also complicated because my life is complicated. It's vulnerable at times, and it's very different from anything I've done before, I think.
So what's Perfect Illusion about then? Perfect
Illusion is a song, well, about a lot of things,
okay.
But I'd say off first listen, and, you know, what I know the song to speak to probably the most is just being so intoxicated by love and so high off of, you know, the greatest drug there is, which is love, that you don't maybe see that it's not real, the relationship.
Or it wasn't going to be something, but you thought it was.
Or that you thought the person was somebody that they're not, maybe. Or that it's just, or you thought it was going to go somewhere that it didn't go. Or maybe, you know, you changed and you were putting on an illusion in the relationship that you aren't anymore. You know, I think it can kind of go a lot of different ways. And also, I was thinking too about, because, you know, I've been hanging out with, like I said, with my friends more, and I really have to say being with Mark and Blood Pop and Kevin and Josh Cumbee, like, and just like everybody just hanging out. I have a family now, you know, and more friends, and they introduced me to their friends, and it helped me feel less, you know, lonely in the
gives you a different perspective.
And yeah, and so then you start to see how people are, like, you know, dating nowadays, and social media is kind of terrifying for dating, and, you know, people dating on the internet and, you know, going on Instagram and seeing what each other. I see people, you check up on what each other's doing,
and then it always
right?
looks like one thing, but it's really not what happens.
Well, because it's who knows, but it's all like a bunch of perfect illusions.
Yeah.
That are
best description ever.
You know, and
the lyrics are great.
And you know what I'm trying to say with the guys is that, you know, it's like, how do we navigate through all of those perfect illusions and find what's real? And that's what we all want so much, is real love, you know, real true love.
Have you ever been in a relationship and then, like, you get out of it and you look back and you're embarrassed about how you behaved? Like, oh my God, like you when you're in love, you can do some pretty stupid things.
I don't know if I've ever been like embarrassed about it.
you're
I
lucky.
think that well, maybe you just shouldn't be, you know?
Right.
You know, it's like, whatever, man. Love is the most beautiful thing there is. Love is what keeps the world happening and going. It's what keeps us strong and not divided, you know? So it really, really blows when it's not for real. And I think we feel like it's a failure. You know, I think, you know, I was talking to someone about the video the other day, and they were asking, you know, what it's like, and I would just say, I feel like when I watch my performance, I just look like someone that's like doesn't want to be a failure at love. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. I don't think anybody wants to fail at that.
No,
Yeah.
and so it's sort of a rage about that. A rage about that. I don't want to fail at love, and somehow when relationships don't work, I feel like we ask, like what did I do?
But
What did
maybe
I
it
do
wasn't
wrong?
you. You know?
Maybe it wasn't, or maybe it was them, or maybe it just wasn't meant to be.
Right.
But I just feel like that's a part of just, you know, being a human being. That
And it makes you
want to
who you are.
succeed. We want to. I believe, like children, when we're kids, we like genuinely want to succeed at love. You know?
Oh, yeah. You dream about it when you're younger.
And even when they fail, I mean, they're all learning experiences. I don't believe any of that is for naught, you know, unless you make it
Right.
that way.
So then,
Makes you
so
who
you
you are.
just taught me something.
I just taught you something?
Yeah, see?
Really?
Nice.
Oh, well, see, I
I
know
think-
stuff.
You do know stuff.
So
I guess.
you work with Josh on the record too. Now he's like from the rock side of things.
Yeah.
Is there a rock tinge to the album, or at least in a song?
Well, he's played guitar in a bunch of songs on the record, Perfect Illusion included, and he is just, I could listen to him play guitar all day, and I just stole that quote from Mark Ronson, because Mark would be shouting it while Josh was playing, and then I would be lucky enough to, you know, work with Josh on, you know, trying different ideas out for guitar parts and just watching his process. And, you know, he's just sort of like a rock and roll hooks machine.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible to watch. And he's so sweet and loving and open. And he just cares so much about the music. And he's just going, I don't want to get in the way of your vocal. And I'm like, forget about the vocal, let this wave. And, you know, so it was wonderful. And you know what's so really the coolest thing about all of them is that they really embraced me as a musician, as a woman. And, you know, sometimes when you're in a room with a bunch of boys, it can get hard to, you know, not like shut down or feel like you can't speak up. Or I'm that way anyway sometimes, even though I might not seem like I'm that way. And they were all really insistent on making sure that they helped pull the best out of me, but also not yet, you know, they never yesed me to death. Trust me.
That's good. Have you known Mark Ronson a long time?
I've known Mark for like, I want to say almost like 8 or 9 years, maybe 10 years. I don't, a long time. We've known each other a long time, and we always wanted to make a record together. But there was a certain kind of record that Mark really wanted to make with me, and I remember I ran into him at the Met Ball, and it's really not an easy place to like have I feel like a long conversation because everyone's at different tables, you know. And we just like were passing each other, and he came over to the table and he said, "Are you gonna make that record that I really want you to make?"
Put you on the spot.
And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, because I want to do that." And I said, "Okay, great." And then we made it happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
What were you doing? Like, I mean, it's been a couple of years. You just, like you said, you were with family, but what were you doing for fun? How do you stay
you were
out of it? Like, because
acting?
you've been out of the kind of, it seems like you've been out of the tabloids for a while, or at
Well,
least the TMZ.
I was singing with Tony Bennett.
Right.
Oh,
And Tony is, you know, somebody that really I've learned so much from about storytelling and music and just the pure joy and the sort of Zen quality that he has every single day of his life. He's either painting or singing, and he's very grateful all the time and says thank you and is very polite to everyone. You know, I learned so much from him. He's my family.
how did you get hooked up with him?
He was at a charity event that I was at for the Robin Hood Foundation to raise money for poor people in New York. And I was singing jazz that night, and he came backstage after and asked me if I would make a record with him. And I said, yes, of course I will, right away.
when you performed with him, I think that's when so many people who maybe were not sure if they were fans of yours, and there's not that many, but they were like, wow, your pipes are absolutely genuine. Nothing is smoke and mirrors with you. That was such a powerful side to see of you.
Well, thanks. I mean, I think that, you know, everybody has their own type of voice that they like, and everyone is, allowed to have their favorite artists and opinions about vocals. For me, it's really just that with Tony, he's so sort of effortlessly just wanted people to know that I could sing jazz music. I guess I wasn't really trying to show anything in particular. It's just one other side of what I do.
It's great.
You're going to be with him on Thursday, too, right? Radio City?
Yes, I will, for his 90th birthday.
I can't believe he's 90.
I can't either.
He
doesn't
He
seem
looks
it.
amazing.
And I'll get so tired doing promotion or doing a tour, and I'll just be exhausted. And he's like, "Let's go, lady, let's go."
Wow. And
Let's
you're
go
like,
out.
I need a nap.
Just calm down.
I just have a ginger ale, and I'm running behind him.
That's so cute.
Justina here on Facebook, she's glowing, sounds better than ever, looks better than ever, but mostly she really seems happier than ever. It's kind of what people are getting. There's a couple comments like that.
Thanks,
Is that how you
guys. I do feel really, really happy
Yeah.
because I've been just in the studio every day making music, and I think that's one of the best things I learned making this album. I haven't released the album title yet, but this record is about me personally, as I bring the woman that I was in the past into the woman that I'll be in the future, and I
love that.
I'm happy, but I'm also like satisfied with my toughness. I used to be really ashamed of being tough. And because it's like, maybe it's like a Catholic guilt thing,
There's plenty of that.
or maybe it's because I'm a young Italian girl came from a really nuclear family. I don't know if anyone else had a strict upbringing, but I just always felt like I wanted to be a good girl from my dad, but I had this strong rebellious spirit, and my father was very sad my whole life because his sister died when he was younger. So a lot of this record is me delving into, my relationship with my father, understanding him, healing that relationship. Also, my friendships with my girlfriends. One of my best friends has stage 4 cancer. Wow. I wrote a song about how me and all my friends would get together without her to cry because we couldn't cry in front of her.
Oh.
And then there's songs like "Hey Girl" with Florence, which is about women lifting each other up. So each record is about these sort of different things that I've experienced just going back to being a woman. And a kind of erasing fame from the equation when I'm in the studio completely, and I hope that you love it as much as we do, and I hope that you feel empowered to make music as well on your own, in your rooms, and learn instruments and write that way, and not just hope to get a producer one day to give you a hot track for you to sing over. This experience with the guys has just been so reminds me of when I was 18 in a band with kids down the street. It's just like real music, real like just loving music like a child.
When do you think the album, can you give us a little hint when it will be out?
Relatively soon. I can't give you the exact date, but it's coming before the end of the year, and I'm really excited. This is actually the most finished I've ever been with a record when the first single comes out. We're usually scrambling, but Mark's quite regimented. He has like a board with
Checklist.
and I'm always like, and I come in, I'm like, oh, he calls it the board of completion, and I call it the board of completion, BORED.
Now, you look like you were really enjoying yourself with the stripped down London club when you performed Perfect Illusion for the first time. the tour for the new album stripped down, or is it going to be typical Gaga?
Nothing's going to be particularly stripped down. I mean, this is not me being like, oh, this is the real me, surprise.
All right.
This is just where I am in my life right now, how I feel right now. I always change. Whenever I make a new record, it always teaches me something, and these shows will be whatever feels right.
Whatever comes
And
out.
it all fits with. You'll see the music really is going to dictate the show. You know, the music is really fun, but it's dynamic, and so I think that the show's going to be that way. It's gonna make you laugh and cry, and dance.
Like you always do.
And jump and scream. Awesome. Yeah, and I miss my fans so much. So, you know, I certainly want to give them what they want, too.
The monsters.
And
they
I
are
think
so
I know
waiting.
what they want.
You always know what they want.
I think I do.
You always know.
No,
What?
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, you know, I know your parents are traveling with you today. They're somewhere here. And when you go home, do you just get in sweats and open up some ice cream or have some Italian food and just sit on the couch? And what do you do? Like, what's your favorite thing to do when you go home and you're just you?
Well, depending on where we are, my favorite thing to do is to go home, go to the grocery store with my dad.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I still do it. Yeah, I try to go.
Baseball hat?
Yeah, I'll put on, yeah, or sometimes I just, you know, whatever, I just try to, I feel like if you're not, sometimes if I'm not
Put your
aware of
shoulders-
it, you know, if I'm not aware
It's
of it.
not happening
it's
if you don't see it.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is, but
That's a
yeah,
fun thing to do with him?
Yeah, I like to go to the grocery store, I like to go to the meat counter with him, because it reminds me of when I was a kid and he would
Aw.
get meat or fish to cook at home, and then we'll go back to the house and I'll say I'm gonna cook, and then I'll get too tired and want to hang out with my sister, and so my dad will make like a, you know, chicken scarparella or something, and we'll sit there and watch some TV, and he'll put a game on maybe, and I mean that's what I like to do with my family.
Just like whatever you did when
Yeah,
you
or
were young.
barbecue. When I'm in California, I love to make barbecue, and I actually cooked a lot for the guys in the studio almost every night
Did you?
the first month that we were there. Oh yeah, because you know they were, you know, coming from all over the world to work and live, you know, in a completely different place.
Sure.
And you got to eat out every night, and you got to, you know.
What'd you make them?
I would make them like I would marinate steak and like Worcestershire and soy sauce and red wine vinegar and a little honey.
Wow.
And then make some, just put like regular potatoes and salad or Italian food, maybe some Milanese. I don't know. I made chicken wings.
Nice.
What's your best dish?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
They probably didn't
don't
want to
know.
leave. We're not done with this record yet.
Right.
There's
So
more
where's,
cooking.
Where's Horror Story going to fit in? Season 6.
Well, it's fitting. It's happening.
Yeah?
Yeah, I already filmed it, so it's
Oh,
coming
okay.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
They're using Perfect Illusion on the promo, so you know.
It's awesome,
Everybody wants
yeah.
to know about it.
Can you leak any secrets about that? I know your fans want a lot of that.
I think no way. Ryan Murphy would send a search for. The FBI would be after me.
How about a hint on the video for Perfect Illusion? Because I heard it was finished.
Oh, well, it's not finished.
Well, thanks, Jeff.
I'll let you know when it's finished.
Okay.
But it's been filmed, and we're, you know, finishing it, and it's a video of me performing the song. You know, I mean,
Cool.
that's
That's
the
always
best way
fun.
I would describe it. I really just wanted to tell the story and tell it in a, you know, way that felt like real to me right now.
That's awesome.
Mary has a great question. Mary Mackey, when is the last time you did something for the first time?
Ooh. Could be food, could be...
Skydiving? I don't know. Is that too hard? Should we go to the next one?
No, it's okay. Hold on, I'm thinking.
Okay.
You can feel her
I'm trying to think of something appropriate.
Okay. Well, there's your answer. And that's always fun.
Actually, I want to say probably that I think I tried blowfish recently for the first time.
Oh, gosh, that's right, and that's poisonous.
But that's not very, is that very?
Well,
I think that's exciting. How about, do you do water sports? Do you like water sports?
Yeah, I mean, I've done jet skiing. I mean, I did throw myself across the floor a bunch of times in the music video. I've never done that before, I don't think. Well, no, maybe I have
daring.
on stage. I don't know. I guess I don't think about stuff that way.
Cool. Well, we're getting
She's
a
always
wrap.
doing something. Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. This was so
They're
fun.
like, that was a terrible answer.
No, that was a great answer.
Thank you.
We
could
would
go-
never do that.
We could go all day. But Lady Gaga, thank you for coming by.
Oh, we're so happy.
Can't
Thank
wait
you.
to
Thank
see
you.
the tour. and
Good
get the
luck.
album.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You look amazing.
Thanks. You guys do too. Thank you so
you're
much.
so sweet.
And hi to everybody at Facebook.